Hey y'all, it's my review for The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 5, Episodes 1 and 2. So the premiere was on Peacock on Thursday. I watched all 4 episodes yesterday and I'm sold. I was like, okay, ladies, this is what I was missing on Bravo. Some luxury. You hear that, Potomac and Salt Lake? Luxury. And drama, real drama. And I love like the diverse cast and it's not like forced. And all the women like clock in. They have 3 friends of, and all 3 of them are essential to the storyline. Like, I appreciate it, and I will be picking this up on YouTube. This won't be a Patreon exclusive. I'm excited, and I haven't been excited for a franchise in a while. Now, Potomac, they doing their thing, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, like, with Beverly Hills, it's just like aspiring wealth that we like to see too, along with our drama. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let's get into these episodes. So right into the first episode of the season, they are milking Lisa's imploding marriage for all it's worth. Like, this is going to be the theme of the season. She is the star. And I don't mind because Alexia last season, poor girl, she needs a break. Like, I want her to have a good, boring season. Now, she can have her little tiffs or whatever, but I don't want anything dramatic to happen to Alexia. Enough has happened to that woman. But yeah, production managed to capture all of Lisa's marriage deteriorating in real time. I can't remember the last time we've seen this. Afterwards, we then get a preview of the season, and then we get the taglines, which I must say I'm not impressed by any of them. If I had to choose one, I guess it'd be Lisa's tagline that I like the most. So finally, the episode opens with the franchise favorite, Alexia, and her ride-or-die Marisol. We then check in with the rest of the cast around the city of Miami. These aerial views are beautiful, like, come on, Peacock budget. I love it. So Alexia's updating us on her life. She got her wedding. And again, like I said, I just want her to have an easy, fun season. She deserves it. Next scene, we're with Julia, Adriana, and Nicole. They're going to this tennis tournament, and Julia's wife is commentating for it. They go say hello to her, and it looks like Julia's storyline this season is going to involve her and her wife moving to their new house, as well as them becoming empty nesters. Next scene, we're with Larsa in her new penthouse. She's being visited by Gertie. Her 5-bedroom penthouse is 50 stories in the air. Wow, okay, I'm here for it. She says she's very proud of it, and according to her, she got it all on her own. None of her divorce money, she didn't use any of it on it. I'm guessing those feet pics she's been selling on her OnlyFans have been, really bringing the money in. I mean, even if it was from divorce money, who cares? Like, she was with that man for 2 decades. She deserves something out of that marriage. So the topic of conversation between the 2 of them is Gertie is currently beefing with Alexia. We then cut back to Alexia talking to Marisol. She's talking about the same situation, and from Alexia's point of view, she's kind of slighted by the fact that Gertie can't plan her upcoming wedding party for whatever reason. Then we cut back to Gertie, and from her perspective, she's mad that Alexia compared her charity event that she put on to the bachelorette party that Marisol did at the Versace mansion. The topic changes, and Larsa is saying that she's not taking anyone's shit this season. So that means she's going to be clocked in, and I'm here for it. Finally. With that being said, Larsa says she's having a big housewarming party and all the ladies are invited. We then cut to Julie and her crew, and she's talking about the unresolved differences that she still has with Larsa, stemming from the reunion last year. Next scene, we're at Marisol's house and she's being visited by Kiki and Lisa. I'm so impressed with this cast because the friends of on this franchise, they really put in work and they actually have a presence. So the topic of conversation is Lisa telling the ladies about her lack of intimacy with her husband. She does say, though, that she notices he's been working out and paying attention to what he eats. Girl, the writings were on the wall. And then we cut to Kiki's expression. I mean, it looked like she saw it too. We then cut to Kiki's confessional and she actually calls it. She says, look, he's trying to look good for somebody. And if you ain't getting it, someone else is. And that is the truth. I feel like Lisa could not be completely in the dark. Like, I feel like she knew something was going on. I just feel like men in general, well, most men, they're terrible liars and cheaters, and the woman always know. And I just feel like Lisa, she knew something was going on. They're then talking about Larsa's housewarming coming up, and it seems like Lisa and Larsa aren't that cool anymore since the last reunion because Larsa said that Lisa didn't have her back when the other ladies was coming at her. Lisa then proceeds to talk shit about Larsa's new penthouse, saying that's where sex workers live, the pimps, and the drug dealers. Now, even though she might have been joking when she said that, it's still coming off as you being a hater, Lisa. And also, she should have known that one of the ladies was going to go back to Larsa and repeat that. Next scene, we're with rich-ass Nicole and her fiance. I think they pulling up to the house in his Ferrari, and then we see his collection of cars that look like it's worth over $2.5 million. Also, as they're walking into their mansion, is it just me or it just looks a little bare in there? Like they could use a little bit more furniture or art on their walls, or maybe they're just going for the minimalist look. What do I know? They're having lunch now and they're discussing their upcoming engagement party that they're having. And I love how he just casually tells her, can we just keep it under 100K? Just rich. And it looks like Nicole's storyline this season is going to revolve around, I'm guessing that, as well as her strained relationship with her dad. Next scene is the day of Larsa's housewarming. We see her prepping for the event. We're now with Lisa. She's getting ready for the party. And this pink dress she chose was a choice. Like, it is tacky. Like, all these holes right here. Like, if that was anybody else, I feel like they would have been roasted for wearing this dress. Did y'all like that dress? Let me know in the comments. I'm not saying it looked bad on her, but it just looked real tacky. It also looked like she's headed to Larsa's party with a chip on her shoulder and she's ready to argue. We're back with Larsa and it turns out she's having a little pre-party inside her penthouse with the ladies that she fucked with. So that means everybody except for Julia and Adriana. They're still invited to the main housewarming party. It's just going on her rooftop and not inside her penthouse. We're back with Lisa at her place. She's talking to Gertie on FaceTime and it seemed like she knows that the joke that she said was wrong. So I don't know why she said it in the first place. It's like you asking for Larsa to go off on you because remember, you started that and you know the women that you told that joke to is going to go and run tell Larsa before you get a chance to. So the ladies start arriving at Larsa's penthouse and Kiki, do you love me? Is you riding? She looks stunning in this white blazer with the sheer dress underneath. Like this is a Chanel Ayan moment. She is doing it. So I don't think Kiki was there for 5 minutes and immediately she told Larsa what she heard from Lisa. And now Larsa is pissed and activated. So more of the ladies arrive and there's clearly tension between Gertie and Alexia, but they decide to keep it cordial. Marisol arrives and Larsa immediately asks her what was said by Lisa. Marisol says she needs a cocktail first. Cut to her confessional and Marisol is talking about her alcohol dependency and I'm like, does she have a problem? Because why is she comparing it to vitamins? Like, oh, I needed like a vitamin so I can think. I'm a little concerned, but for y'all who've been watching Miami since season 1, maybe I'm just not familiar with her drinking habits, but she drinks a lot. I'll give it to her though. She's not a sloppy drunk like Dorinda, but it seems like she's a functioning alcoholic. Anyway, Marisol confirms to Larsa what Lisa said, and then Lisa just so happens to come to the door with that tacky dress. So as soon as she walks in, Larsa says, welcome to the hood. Ciao. I mean, to be fair, Lisa didn't say that, but whatever. Larsa then, of course, confronts Lisa about what she says, then proceeds to let her have it. She says, well, I heard you rent your house out to pay y'all mortgage. And Lisa takes great offense to that. Apparently, the rumor is that her and her husband be renting out their backyard for music videos because it looks so nice. And we then see the whole cast confirming it in their confessionals. I'm like, what's wrong with that? It's an $80 million house, allegedly. Why not make that extra money? Even if they do have a mortgage, so what? Is that an insult for rich people? Like, they own their house, they're not renting it. They're going back and forth now. Larsa's telling her, at least I pay my own bills. Lenny paid everything for you. Now, Larsa, I want you to calm down in your glass house. Like, Lisa is a housewife, just like you were for 20 plus years until you weren't. So, I don't know, like, arguing over the legitimacy of y'all's money, like, it's moot. And yeah, Lisa didn't come prepared for Larsa at all. I mean, you knew that Larsa was going to find out about what you said. You could at least came up with a rebuttal or something, but Larsa is tearing into her, and now Lisa threatens to leave. Now, Larsa says she doesn't want her to leave, but she continues to read her in the process. Lisa then tries to blame Kiki for all this, and now her and Kiki are going back and forth. Larsa looks like she could give a fuck less, so now her and the ladies are getting to the elevator to go to the main party. Gertie then tries to convince Lisa to stay, and then we see Larsa and Lisa pass each other, and now they're getting into it again. And it's just getting silly at this point. They're going back and forth, and it looks like they're not going to resolve this anytime soon. Lisa, at the end of the day, you should have never said that. What you should have did was confront Larsa at her party and ask, why are y'all so distant now since the reunion, and why are you taking that out on me? That's what you should have did instead of insulting her penthouse that she's clearly proud of. Child, they are still arguing. Now they're arguing about whose money is more legitimate. It is comedy. Meanwhile, Julie and Adriana walk in to them arguing with each other still. Larsa just wants to take a shot, and Lisa just won't let it go. All the ladies look exhausted. Hell, I'm exhausted. Can they just put a cork in it until like the next episode? So the party continues, and we get a cameo from Jill Zarin. She just know everybody, don't she? I hope to see her on the New York Legacy show because I miss Jill. I like her. So now everyone at the party is being cordial for the most part. We see Larsa actually being friendly to Julia and Adriana, but we see Julia, from the looks of her confessional, she's being very hesitant with Larsa. We then cut to Lisa again talking to Gertie about the incident between her and Larsa. Gertie's just rolling her eyes now, and everyone wants her to let it go at this point, but she can't. So I'm guessing that's it for the party, and next scene we're at Lisa's mansion and she's cooking with her son and her mother-in-law. Her husband comes into the scene, and this is where the awkwardness begins. Like, it is so easy to tell that he just don't like her. Whether it's him getting wine for them or asking her for salt, like, the tension is there. Like, how does she not see this? Or maybe she can't. They're all at the table now, and he's not listening to her at all. Like, he's more preoccupied with his phone. She notices this, and now she's getting annoyed with him, and then you can tell in the look on his face that he's just had it with her. So that's the end of the scene, and then they give us a Shonda Rhimes 3 weeks later. They're then showing this is where the divorce bomb dropped and she was blindsided. They then take it to 5 weeks later where we see them arguing, and it looks like he wants her out the house. And that's where the episode ends. Like, why are they giving us this preview when they're giving us 4 episodes at once? Like, this was unnecessary. And y'all know I just hate the Shonda Rhimes moments. Anywho, let's get to episode 2. So episode 2 also starts off in Shonda Rhimes fashion, where first we're on Alexia'S boat for her wedding party, and we see Lisa and Larsa get into a super heated argument. Then we get to 48 hours earlier. Can they stop, please? Just go into the story. Anywho, we cut to a montage where all the ladies are doing. We're first with Nicole and her fiance. They're having lunch and discussing Larsa's party that they missed. Her man then out of nowhere says we need to keep Larsa away from our boat captain. He's a good kid, he just got engaged. I don't want her wrecking anyone else home. Damn. And then he said, I'm not saying she's a home wrecker, you know. And then he just casually bites into his chip. Nicole thinks this is hilarious, and she has to cover her face with a towel. Now, y'all know Larsa's gonna get into that ass online or at the reunion. It's coming, Nicole, so you better be ready for it. I gotta say, in Larsa's defense, like, these ladies be coming at her unprovoked, but then want to be mad when she go below the belt and their little feelings hurt. Next scene, we're with Alexia and her son, and she overlooks the venue for her party. Gertie isn't helping her with this, and then in her confessional, she's comparing her new party planner to Gertie and how better that person is. I gotta agree with Gertie when she said that Alexia's coming off a little bit entitled here. Like, the lady said she couldn't help you with your event, and she tried to. And the only reason Gertie gave her a questionnaire in the first place is just to know exactly what she wanted so she can plan a great event for her. Anyway, next scene, we're with Julia at her farm, and this is definitely her happy place. She lets us know that this is the new location for her farm, and she sold the old one. It's an hour away from their new house. And of course, who's visiting her in this scene? Adriana. Does anyone besides me think they're fucking? They're definitely fucking. Julia's then talking in her confessional about how her wife Martina isn't into farming like how she is. And she also gets irritated that she'll be at the farm for hours on end. Like, she'll get there in the morning and don't come back until late afternoon, nighttime. And I can see from Martina's perspective being annoyed by that. She says not that the kids are gone, it's just them, and it's highlighting more problems. moms. Hell, I mean, ain't that the goal with some parents? Like, we want the kids to get out the house so we can, spend our better years, we can go out with each other, we can travel. But it seems like Julia is the more nurturing type. Like, she needs something to nurture. That's why she's at the farm nurturing animals. So it looks like they're headed for a rough patch throughout the season. I hope they don't get divorced because, look, there's a pretty young, hot lesbian just waiting to take her spot with Martina. Just saying. Next scene, Lisa, Gertie, and Alexia all meeting up for lunch. And then meanwhile, we see Kiki and Larsa meeting up for lunch. So I guess we're going back and forth between these two scenes. They're all, of course, discussing the argument between Lisa and Larsa. We see Kiki saying that Lisa actually unfollowed her on Instagram for telling Larsa what she said to her. But with Lisa's group now, the subject changes to Alexia and Gertie talking out their differences. Now, I thought this was going to be a bigger scene, but they're actually talking it out like adults, and honestly, it looks like there was just a miscommunication between the two of them. Next scene, we're with Nicole having lunch with her mom. Her parents are separated, but it seems like they have a friendly relationship because they've known each other since they were kids. Nicole hates her dad. And it looks like her mom is pushing her to rectify her relationship, but as we saw last season, her dad is kind of an asshole, so I'm on Nicole's side on this. Nicole's mom is clearly on her dad's side, defending him, and tells her that she can be mean to her dad as well as her. Nicole gets emotional about this. She's like, I'm not mean. In the previews, y'all, I don't know why they did a little freeze frame of her saying that. I'm not mean. Anyway, her mom then has the audacity to tell her that she needs to accept her and her dad for the way they are. I disagree. Fuck that. I'm not gonna settle for a toxic relationship just because y'all my parents. Y'all need to change or I'm out. So next scene we're with Gertie as she's doing a photo shoot. She invites Larsa along, I'm guessing for her experience in OnlyFans. Afterwards, Gertie is telling Larsa about her lunch that she had with Lisa and how she's still talking about their fight. Larsa seems like she don't care and she's over it, and she has no regret coming for Lisa. So next scene is the day of Alexia's wedding party. We see her arriving and she looks very nervous. Her party planner is like, girl, you're married, you have nothing to worry about. But then knowing Alexia's luck, especially from watching season 4, look, I'd be nervous too. I'd be nervous that the boat may go down. Something might happen. Later on, we see that Gertie sent flowers to Alexia, sort of like an olive branch to her. We then cut to Alexia's confessional. She says, you bring me flowers? I got enough flowers. Not very nice, Alexia. I mean, you see Gertie trying. So the problem is you. We then see Marisol arrive early for her bestie. And does anybody notice that every single scene Marisol is in, she has a drink in her hand? Again, I'm concerned. Anywho, more guests are arriving. Everything's going along smoothly. Now this is a yacht. Wow. Mia, Potomac, take note. We then see Lisa arrive without her husband. No surprise there. Adriana arrives with the date, and we found out that's her number 2 from last season. The number 1, I think they broke up after the reunion. So Lisa and Larsa are face to face and decide to talk it out one-on-one away from the other ladies. Lisa says she's still hurt, and Larsa again reminds her that you started this and I was just simply stating facts about your mortgaged house. Lisa is now triggered again. Larsa then offers to show her online that Lisa's house is mortgaged. Like, it's public knowledge. Lord Father God, who cares? Who cares that her house is mortgaged? They are still the owners of an $80 million house. How is that a read? Can someone explain that to me in the comments? How is that a read? Lisa then finally hits back and says, okay, you believe in everything online. Did you steal somebody's husband? Also, y'all, in the comments, can somebody help me out with the Larsa allegations? Because, early in the episode, you hear Nicole's fiance talking about how she's a homewrecker, allegedly. Like, can someone guide me to the story about Larsa? I thought she was with, Future. Or was that somebody else she was with? At this point now, they're screaming at each other and making a scene, and they're now being separated. I mean, Alexia and her husband aren't even on the main deck yet, and all this is happening. Lisa then calls her husband, telling him what just happened. Afterwards, she goes around the boat telling everybody that Larsa needs to walk the plank. She then asks the server on the boat with all seriousness, is there a plank on the boat? There should be one. Is there a plank on this boat? This woman needs to walk the plank. We then see Alexia and her husband finally come out. Lisa continues to complain to everyone within an earshot about Larsa. It's a little cringe seeing her try to defend her finances to everybody. Like, girl, if it's not true, let it go. We then cut to Gertie in her confessional, and she's saying the way Lisa is reacting to this, there has to be something else going on. And we, the audience, we know something is going on, and the foreshadowing is on 1,000. After that, here we go again with production ending the episode with the Shonda Rhimes fast forward. We're now at 2 weeks later, and we see Lisa arguing on the phone with her husband about the mistress possibly being around her kids. She's cursing his ass out, then she hangs up on him, and that is where the episode ends. This was a great premiere, y'all. I am in. Like, Miami is bringing it. It's even better than last season because now we're acquainted with this new cast, and I'm here for the drama. And I just saw online that they gave us the synopsis for the next 4 episodes, and hopefully this Thursday coming up they don't give us 4 episodes at once again. I hope it's just one episode a week so I can keep up with the reviews. But yeah, I was looking at the synopsis, and ooh, the drama is on the horizon. I cannot wait. So yeah, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all thought about these first 2 episodes. I would love to know y'all thoughts. With that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.